Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order of the Board of Trustees for this evening, Tuesday, November the 22nd at 7:01 p.m. The only regrets for this evening are Trustee Oliveira, and we have our agenda before us, so if people would have a quick peek at the agenda. Okay, so are there any additions to the agenda that is before you? Okay, can I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented? Trustee Lychuk, Trustee Land, all in favor? Okay, opposed if any, the motion is carried. Adoption of the minutes from our previous board meeting, which was held on November the 8th. Are there any errors or omissions in the minutes from November the 8th? No, but you didn't see anything, Sandra? You're usually pretty good at spotting those things, okay, which is good to be a good spotter. Okay. Okay, we might have, sometimes we repeat ourselves.
It was just the correction in the minutes where it said, Liz is a new for that committee instead of.
Right, Trustee Tucker is the rep for the ISTTC. Okay. Okay, maybe, yeah. We had to make that amendment and correction, okay? I guess so. That's okay.
No,
Better
it
to be.
was yeah,
No, I think we pointed out that,
The minutes haven't been approved till the first meeting.
okay. Okay, very good. So a motion to accept the minutes as presented. Trustee Tucker, Trustee Land, all in favor of the minutes? Approved. Okay, approved. Moving on to delegations. We do not have any delegations this evening other than Manisha. But, oh, I guess she is a delegation. She's 4.1. You're a one-person delegation. That's okay. Welcome. Okay, we will review our audited financial statements with our one-person delegation. Okay? And you can have the floor, Ms. Pandia. Okay. Fire away.
Thank you. Okay, I understand all of you have had a chance to review the audited statements, so I'm going to highlight some of the points from them. I have had the opportunity to review it in quite a bit of detail with your administration. For the year ended June 30th, 2016, the Mystery Lake School District did receive a clean audit opinion for the consolidated financial statements. In our opinion, the consolidated financial statements present fairly in all material respects the consolidated financial position of the Mystery Lake School District as at June 30th, 2016, its consolidated results of operations, and its consolidated change in net debt and its consolidated cash flows for the year then ended, in accordance with Canadian public sector accounting standards. We've also issued an independent auditor's report on the enrollment, and that is as of September 30th, 2015, as required by the Public Schools Finance Branch, and we had no issues with that as well. In terms of the management letter, which is in your report, at the end of this year, we again will have made mention of the school funds, just because as you change administration and as you change some of the individuals who are handling the school funds, we just want to again stress the importance of those funds being included in the consolidated financial statements of the school district. In terms of future accounting issues, at this time, there were no accounting issues that we felt we needed to bring forward to the board. This past year, there is a designated surplus amount of $76,187, and that is designated for the accessibility plan. In general, all of the accounting systems were operating as when we tested them. We had no issues. All of the controls were in place that we were looking for, and it made sure that there was timely and accurate financial recording of all of the transactions. There were no unadjusted audit differences that we came across as a result of our audit. And as always, we'd like to thank Kelly and her team for the excellent work that they've done in preparing, not only for the audit, but in terms of providing us timely information during the audit to allow us to do it in a timely and efficient manner. The management report, excuse me, the management report is also attached, and it will be signed off after tonight's acceptance by the Board of Trustees. Again, that report is just stating that it's management's responsibility to provide these financial statements and to be accountable for the financial statements. Our role is to audit the financial statements. We do not prepare them. They are prepared by the School District of Mr. Lake. In terms of the consolidated statement of financial position as at June 30th, our overall financial assets actually decreased this past year by $1.4 million. There was a significant decrease in the cash balance, and a lot of the cash throughout the year had been invested in GICs. Subsequent to June 30th, and during our audit period, we noted that the GICs did have to be cashed in due to cash flow difficulties. So although we have $4 million on the balance sheet at the end of the year, that $4 million was subsequently cashed in and used for cash flow issues that occurred over the summer. Our consolidated liabilities increased over the past year by $2,068,000. Of that $2 million, employee future benefits increased by $2 million as well. So that's where we're seeing the significant increase. As your staff continues to stay, the liability that moves along with them as they continue their employment and do not retire will continue to grow until some of them retire and you're able to extract some of that liability off your balance sheet. Overall, your net debt for the past year was $7,126,516. That is an increase of $3.5 million from the prior year. The tangible capital assets at the end of the year were $16,231,308. That is an increase of $2.2 million from the prior year. The past year we saw additions of $3.1 million, and of that $2.5 million is sitting in assets under construction. The majority of that work is what's occurring at Riverside School as well as some of the other schools. Amortization over the past year was $868,972. Our overall accumulated, excuse me, our overall accumulated surplus is $9.2,064,813, and we do have a breakdown of that further on in the financial statements. The consolidated statement of revenue and expenses indicates that our total revenues were $42,224,038. That's an increase of $1.6 million over the past year, or 4.1%. $740,000 of that increase was our increase in property tax, and $1 million of it came from an increase in base funding. Our total expenses were $43,460,808. That was an increase of $2.9 million, or 7.21% over the past year. And all of that increase was in salaries in regular instruction at $2.3 million, and in student support services of $476,000. Our deficit for the past year was $1,236,770. We did have a recovery of non-vested sick leave of $22,403, leaving us with a total deficit this year of $1,259,173. Our opening accumulated surplus was $10,523,986, leaving us with a total consolidated accumulated surplus of $9,264,813. The statement of change in net debt indicates where we've gone from an opening net debt of $3.6 million to the negative to a negative $7.1 million at the end of this year. The majority of that, again, was the acquisition of tangible capital assets of $3.1 million over the past year. We did have amortization on those assets, and that in itself, with our deficit of $1.2 million, created the increase in our net debt. The statement of cash flow clearly indicates that we've gone from a cash balance of $4.5 million at the end of the previous year to just over $200,000 at the end of June 30th. So again, as mentioned previously, we do have some cash flow issues over the past year, and that went into this following months as well with the redemption of the GICs. The notes to the financial statements follow, and there's no significant changes to any of the accounting policies over the past year. Each of the notes is provided more detailed information to some of the balances that we've presented on the statement of financial position and the statement of revenue. Over the past year, I'd like to just draw attention to Note 11, which breaks down the accumulated surplus. So under our operating fund, we actually have an accumulated surplus of $1.5 million. The capital fund, we have $7.6 million as accumulated surplus. And in the special purpose fund, which includes our school generated accounts, $119,000. So of the $9.2 million of accumulated surplus, only $1.5 of that is attributed to your operating fund. I would also like to draw your attention to Note 18, as it is a new note this year, and it is a contingent liability note. And at the time that we finalized our audit work, we still did not know what the City of Thompson had in terms of the local improvement tax, and so we did want to make note to that in the financial statements. The estimate at this time to the district could be as high as $364,000. We also wanted to make note of the fact that the letter of understanding in regards to grant in lieu is coming up for negotiations, and because that is significant to the funding of the school district of Mystery Lake, we once again wanted to make note of that in the financial statements. The appendix to the consolidated financial statements is in reference to your pension plan, which we also audited as of June 30th. And at the end of this past year, we do have a surplus in the pension plan of $559,376. Our analysis of the consolidated accumulated surplus indicates that with your designated amount for the accessibility plan, we were slightly over the 4% limit at 4.01%. The pages which follow are the three funds, the operating fund, the capital fund, and the special purpose fund, and it was not my intention to review each of those unless someone had specific questions on any of those. Each of them does provide some further detail on all of the amounts that we've already discussed in the consolidated. On page 29, we have our calculation of administrative costs as percentage of total expenses. The maximum allowable percentage is 5%. This past year, we were at 4.5%, so we were within the threshold. In terms of last year, we were at 5%, so we've actually seen a decrease in administrative cost over the past year. Aside from the document in front of you, we'd also were engaged to provide audit opinions on a few other reports, and included in that is the Bill 57 report with salaries over $50,000, and that was provided as of December 31st, 2015, and has been provided to management and also submitted to the province of Manitoba already. We did do a March 31st, 2016 interim audit, and that again is per the recommendations of the province of Manitoba so that they can integrate it into their consolidated statements. An independence letter has been provided to, again, just state that we are totally independent from the school district in terms of issuing our audit opinion. A representation letter has also been provided so that we are aware that everything that management should be providing to us has been provided to us, and there's been no restrictions on our audit role. Our management letter we've reviewed, and as I mentioned, our pension plan audit was also dated as of June 30th, 2016. Are there any questions regarding the audit at all? No? I'd like to once again thank the board and management for their continuing support and confidence in our firm, and specifically, once again, a big thank you to Kelly and to her staff.
Any questions for Ms. Pandia? No? Okay. Thank you very much. See you next year, I guess.
Thank you, Marshall.
Okay. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I was just thinking we probably need to do that. Okay, so we will require a motion to approve the audited financial statements as presented by Ms. Pandia. Okay? Trustee Land, trustee McDonald, all in favor? Opposed, if any, the motion is carried. Okay, thank you.
Do we not also need a motion to name an auditor for next year? I think we do.
We haven't had it this time.
Not at this time?
Well, financial committee has to bring it forward.
Finance committee, okay, we'll let them handle
All
that.
right, sorry.
Something for you guys to do, Dawn. Okay, so, all right, Kelly, do you have anything else?
Not with regards to this.
Okay.
So moving right along, item number 5, business arising from previous board meeting, first reading of procedural bylaws 0916-2016. Okay. Let's see if we can find it in here. Okay. Hold on a second. That's it? No. Oh, that's the one. Okay. Oh, I don't have a screen. I'll never have a screen at this table. It's never gonna happen.
Is it still
It's not gonna happen. Okay,
up there?
so this is from the policy committee, I believe, is it? Is it? Okay, looks like it is. Okay, regarding the number of meetings that can be missed, is there 2 items? Or just the one? There's an electronic and then there's the other one. Okay, so, trustees must not be absent for 3 consecutive regular meetings of the school board without authorization. In accordance with section 39(8) of the Public Schools Act, a school district shall declare a seat vacant and order an election to fill the seat when the trustee elected to that seat has failed to attend 3, where's the rest of it? 3, I'm missing a page. 3,
consecutive regular meetings of the board without authorization of the school board by resolution recorded in the minutes. No problem.
okay, so that's, are we reading this out once or twice, or what are we doing with this? First reading, okay. That's good.
We're reading on something that's actually not written correctly?
Between the two of us,
See,
we got it.
what had happened was the wording. We actually took the wording, so it was, okay, just a minute here. Video conference, record. School court.
I just suggested we table it to next meeting when we have the entire document.
Okay, with the proper sentences and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. The other one is the electronic minutes, is that one looks a little bit better?
She's missing.
And if we have to redo first, if we have to table first reading, we'll just table first reading.
I mean, is it though, is that not, I mean, it's a piece that was clipped off, is that?
Yeah, I have the original in my office.
You read.
Oh, you do?
And
Yep,
the wording.
I can get what the change was from my
Okay,
office,
you
okay?
did that on Joe, we'll
Yeah.
move on to the other one.
I don't, this is what was circulated, this is what we were looking at last meeting.
Yeah, this is what this was.
Okay, we'll move on to the, we'll move on to the electronic meetings. Notwithstanding the provisions of this bylaw to provide for trustees to attend board meetings via electronic means or board policy passed pursuant to Manitoba Regulation 201, 2004, in accordance with section 39.7 sub 1 and 39.7.1 sub 2 of the Public Schools Act, each trustee must be physically present at a regular meeting of the board at least once every 3rd meeting. Trustees may attend meetings by video conference or teleconference, but must be physically present at one meeting every 3 months. However, there remains the expectation that a physical quorum be maintained at all times. Go ahead.
Are we sort of ready for questions yet?
Sure.
I know we reviewed this last time, but I just realized, do we need a motion first? Let's do that.
Okay, motion
But
moved by
before we do
Sandra,
that, before we do that, we have to finish the reading of the first one.
Okay, so what came into question at the last meeting was, everyone was wondering, what exactly does it say in the Public Schools Act? So, for item number 10, on our procedural bylaws, our wording was exactly what was stated in the Public Schools Act, with the exception of, it said, trustees must not be absent for 3 consecutive regular meetings of the board without prior approval, is what we had in the Public Schools Act. It's authorization is the word that they used. That was really the only difference between our procedural bylaw and what was stated in the Public Schools Act. We had prior approval, and this says authorization. And it must be passed, that was another question, it must be passed by a formal resolution recorded in the minutes. Those were the questions that came in last.
We're going to
meeting.
separate them out into 2 separate
Yes.
sections, it's probably a little clearer.
It was, yes, because we were having video attendance, and the 3 consecutive meetings in attendance were kind of in one
All
section, and it was
encompassing.
getting, it didn't read well, so that's what we've done.
Okay. So that was first reading of,
Well, we
Go
still,
ahead.
we still have to read item 10 as written, as opposed to
Okay.
what we like to read.
okay,
No, here it is. So,
But it finishes here.
oh, it finishes there?
For us.
Oh, she's missing a line, okay. Okay, I got it. Okay, so the entire, it reads, okay, a trustee must not be absent for 3 consecutive regular meetings of the school board without authorization in accordance with section 39-8C of the Public Schools Act. A school district shall declare a seat vacant and order an election to fill the seat when the trustee elected to the seat has failed to attend 3 consecutive regular meetings of the board without authorization from the Board of Trustees by resolution recorded in the minutes.
okay, so that's first reading of that one,
Okay?
okay. And I've already done reading regarding the electronic one. Okay, so, can we get a motion regarding these 2, Leslie?
I would move that these be read, the procedural bylaws be read for the first time.
Okay. Thank you, and then they'll probably be read subsequently in future meetings.
Yeah.
I will second that.
Okay, thank you. All in favor of the motion? Oh, okay, sorry, I hate this stuff, so I'm not good at it. Just throw your, very good. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, with respect to section E, there's 2 sentences here, I'm trying to figure out if I'm interpreting this correctly. It says, each trustee must be physically present at a regular meeting of the board of trustees at least once every 3rd meeting.
Yes.
Trustees may attend meetings by video conference, but must be physically present at 1 meeting every 3 months.
Yes.
We meet bi-weekly.
Okay, we meet twice a month, yeah.
Why is it 3 meetings in 3 months?
That's what the Public
Because
Schools
that's-
Act
yes,
indicates.
it's-
Because we technically, as the Board of Trustees, could meet once a month. It's our choice to do it twice a month.
In the,
Many trustees only eat and many boards only meet once a month.
Okay. I just see a requirement to be here every 3rd meeting or every 3 months if circumstances would never occur.
Exactly.
Right.
But if they did, then you'd have to.
You're covered otherwise.
Yeah. And that's what the Public Schools Act says, and it's a little convoluted.
And yet somehow we assess children's use of English.
Well,
Okay, no, it's a little late for this discussion.
don't make us go back, don't send us back to policy.
send it to
We're done.
finance.
We're done with this one.
We haven't had that much.
Tabling our resignations.
Yeah. Well, nobody on policy, right?
Yeah, we haven't had all that great luck with having teleconference meetings and stuff, as Ryan can attest, so most of us are physically present most of the time when they can be, so.
Well, I mean, I know it's not an issue for us, it's just that if we're going to fix it.
Does it not make sense?
Well, it makes sense in the context of the Public Schools Act.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense in the context of reading it in that paragraph without referring to the Public Schools Act, right?
I mean, that's
Essentially,
essentially
what we came up with to address both concerns, even though you're right, one seems to make the other
No, trustees may attend video meetings by video conference or teleconference, but you have to be every 3 months. You can't do that. You have to be here every 3 months.
You actually have to be here
Once every
3 meetings, you have to be here every month and a
Now,
half.
what did we decide?
I wasn't there.
No, I'm not
just
talking to you.
criticizing.
I'm talking to trustee Lam and trustee Lightfoot.
Well, I think we have to be present, like, at least one in every 3 meetings, physically present, but you have to be, according to this,
You still have to do that.
yeah, you still have to do
But then
that.
there's a sentence saying, we're going to describe it differently, it's something you don't actually have to do, just in case we ever change our meeting schedule.
Yeah, for me, the piece, this is the piece that for me is a little unclear, is the word physically in the second statement. Or the one about attending every 3rd meeting. Like, I think the Public Schools Act is clear on 1 meeting every 3 months and saying you need to be physically present. I think what we were allowing for was that so long as you were attending every 3rd meeting electronically from a board perspective, that would be okay.
Okay.
So I think, and I don't know if people would be okay with the friendly amendment, but it's under the electronic board meeting, this issue, so it really is to allow for the fact that your attendance counts if you are
Attending.
electronically present
Yes.
for 1 out of every 3 meetings at the board level. You still need to be physically present once every 3
3 months.
So there's different options.
So that physically is not accurate when it refers to every 3rd meeting. So that would be, each trustee must be present at a regular meeting of the board,
So does
at
the
least
public
once every
school
3
act say physically
No,
present?
it talks, I think it
Yes.
talks about it every 3 months.
The Public
Now,
Schools
physically
Act
present-
is,
Not really changing.
No, okay.
the Public Schools Act, Section 39712. Despite a regulation passed under subsection 1, every trustee must be physically
Physically,
present
that's-
at a regular meeting at least once every 3 months. That excerpt was circulated in the
Yeah,
board
so what I'm
practice.
saying is, let's keep that phrase.
Yep.
Let's lose the one that says
Every
3rd.
3rd meeting.
So that one about every 3rd meeting, you guys chose to insert it, it's not part of the public schools act?
It is part of the school act.
No,
Yeah,
not
but
for
the
electronic meetings.
But I think, is Sandra not talking about each trustee must be physically present at a regular meeting of the board at least once every 3rd meeting?
That's Section 10.
So that's part of the PSA?
No,
Yes.
39.8 of the PSA.
okay.
A different part of it, but they're both part of it.
When I spoke with MSBA, our original section had physically present as well as electronic, all combined into one item. We need to extrapolate the physical presence at a meeting versus the electronic. Our item 10 now addresses having to be, you need authorization by board motion to miss 3 consecutive
consecutive
meetings,
meetings.
otherwise your seat can be declared vacant.
However, if you miss 2 meetings, then show up electronically, you're
You're
considered
still
there.
here.
So.
Because you can attend electronically, but you can't continue to attend electronically
Over and over again.
Yes.
forever. You have to be physically present.
In that case, then, this should be reworded. Because that my argument was that I could attend twice physically and then be on my phone while I'm walking my dog and teleconference here,
Yep,
right?
Yeah,
you can. According to the Public Schools Act, you can do that. See, what has happened in the past,
I can.
and I
We
think
won't.
the provision for this is that we've had people who've, for example, not been in the country. And in order for us to avoid having a by-election and the expense of that, allowed somebody to attend electronically from overseas or what have you. So, I mean, to save the expense in a board election until until the seat did become vacant. That happened,
Right, because I was here.
yes.
But, so in that case, you can attend electronically and you only have to be physically present every 3
3
months.
months.
That's right.
So that person could have attended 5 board meetings,
Right.
technically, if there are 2 a month, 5 of them, right? Or, yeah, 5 of them on the 6th one or the 3rd month would have had to been here physically.
Right.
Otherwise,
And that same rule, because it's under the PSA, applies to all of us here. Whether or not we're
no, I
part
mean,
of the country or not. It's at the 1 month.
All right, any other further complications?
So
I think it makes sense, it's just not a word, that's,
Well, you can argue that it's not worded particularly well. Look, I get it.
You know what, Dawn?
If you get it, that's the most important thing. As long as you get it.
I agree with you, like, now that I look at it, I think that's really bad. Does it make any sense to anybody?
There's actually no urgency to pass this, so.
Well, I'm just,
I
this was
think-
pulled, like, this exact statement is pulled over the Public Schools
The
Act.
Public Schools Act is in your package, just one page back, and
Back.
that's the exact,
This is the exact wording out of the Public
this,
Schools Act.
this page here is the exact Public Schools Act.
Somebody want to make a friendly amendment, or do you want to send it back to the policy
table
committee
it.
for revamping?
I don't have that copy.
Again, I think the key in there is the word physically on every third meeting. That is the crux of the confusion. That it basically under, again, remember the subsection there is about
Sandra,
electronic
under background.
attendance. So what we're saying there is specific to electronic attendance, and we're saying that you can attend every
You
third
never saw
meeting.
that?
You could do that electronically, but we're noting that you must be physically present every third meeting. So
Exactly.
the first physically is dumped, I think the meaning is there.
But it doesn't say that you have any reason, don't have to, that you have to have a good reason to be teleconferencing.
I think,
Actually, the PSA does not say that.
no, I mean, let's say it's an accessibility issue.
Mhm.
I mean, let's say somebody, you know, has mobility issues or what have you, and, I mean, it's too daunting for them to come every time, so that's probably why they,
Yeah.
or again, in situations to diminish the expense of a by-election, because, you know, someone's got 4 or 5 or 10 meetings left in their term, and they are leaving town.
Right.
Okay,
I
any
think what
ideas?
Brian was saying in that section E, I agree, because it's kind of, where it says, of the Public Schools Act, each trustee must be physically present at a regular meeting of the board at least once every third meeting. Well, that's not congruent to what we're saying, because every third meeting would be 6 weeks for us. not-
Right, it's because of the way we do business.
Okay, so
So it's not really, so.
It's not accurate.
if That's the physically that you're talking about taking out.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, and then when I'm arguing,
And that would
can we
make
take
sense.
it out?
alternative suggestion?
Okay, we can't take that out.
No, we can't do anything to the Public Schools Act, it supersedes everything.
The bylaw itself, item 10 basically says you have to be there, you can't be absent for 3 consecutive meetings.
Right.
Without authorization.
And
Without
then
authorization.
what subsection 11E is supposed to do is saying you can't attend electronically.
Yes.
And so we've got a description of what that is.
Mhm.
I don't think it says that.
So,
I'm just calling it,
Exact wording, I think.
It's attached, but
well, I'm saying, why would you say it?
Because it's part of the Public Schools Act.
Which means it's part of the Public Schools Act, you don't have to repeat
But
it.
this,
Well, we can't pretend it's not.
there's an extra,
The whole first
There.
sentence is actually
Kelly has some.
irrelevant.
Kelly?
if we look at the background that was circulated under this item, the excerpt is, with regards to the electronic, despite a regulation passed under subsection 1, every trustee must be physically present at a regular meeting at least once every 3 months. So the sentence in 11E that starts after Public Schools Act, each trustee must be physically present at the regular meeting at least once every third meeting,
It isn't.
that needs to be removed, and then it should read, Section 3971, subsection 2 of the Public Schools Act, trustees may attend by video conference or teleconference, but must be physically present at one meeting every 3 months. The comment, each trustee must be physically present at a regular meeting of the board once every third meeting, should be struck from item 11E.
Yeah, wow,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
However-
It's the same thing.
What's that?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I agree too, but that's not what the PSA means.
No, but that's what it says.
It's not what it means though, because that's for monthly meetings. If you're holding monthly meetings, then you have to be here every third meeting.
No, it says every 3 months.
No,
Because it's assuming monthly meetings.
It's not.
no,
Oh, Sandra?
So if you read the background that Kelly's referring to, which I didn't see until
Mhm.
now, is if you attach this background, it doesn't show up when you read it as a PDF package that way. It doesn't state the 3 consecutive meetings.
That's what.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it actually says about the 3
So-
consecutive meetings.
I think that you,
So does that become an amendment? Or-
yes, so,
But I don't think it's a significant redraft, it's
we just
drop
extracted.
that section of the sign.
Well, we haven't changed the intent, so it is not
Right.
really,
I think
it's up to the
change the
committee to
intent.
determine if we,
Huh?
who moved it.
Well, we're still
I
locked.
think I moved it.
No, we're still
So
on.
it's whether or not you accept that as
I don't
a
Sorry.
accept that as a friendly amendment.
You don't?
I see that it changes the intent immensely, and I suggest that this gets tabled
To the
and.
table.
Okay, let's-
Chair,
Retable then.
retable.
Sorry, policy committee.
That's okay.
No more motions for you, Leslie. Okay, moving right along. Oof, good thing we don't run the country, that's all I gotta say. Holy
Oh,
cow.
Janet, it could be so much worse. It could be so much worse than like in other
Ouch.
countries.
Okay, Superintendent, Human Resources and Policy.
Provided for you a written report, pretty standard, just in terms of the some of the hiring, and again, some of the meetings I've attended. Are there any questions about any of the written report that I've submitted? No?
Any questions for Ms. Bartlett? Okay, moving right along. Ms. Henderson, Superintendent of Educational Services and Programs.
I submitted my report, just a few meetings that I attended. I attended Artie Parker Honor Roll, the Wapanek Community School Parent Breakfast during student-led conferences. I attended that. Did some school visits. The following reports were submitted to the province by the October 31st deadline. Focus on the future career development, senior years technology and learning to 18, and the ECD, which is the early childhood development, and the healthy schools, which was due November 7th, was also submitted. You'll find those on our district website. The Manitoba Education and Training requires the district plan to focus on Aboriginal academic achievement, literacy and numeracy. That plan has been posted to our website. We have a professional development day on December 9th. The focus, there's a number of things that will be going on. All their schools will be closed, but Artie Parker will be focusing on mental health and wellness, and we'll be inviting all the counselors from the district to attend that. We will have a music PD that will be provided by Steph Davis. We have a phys ed PD that will be provided by Todd Harwood, and that's looking at the Healthy Schools Planner. Deerwood School has piloted that this year, so we're hoping that other schools will jump on for next year. We have a change in the way the AAA, which is the Aboriginal Academic Achievement, the plan is now to include early literacy and later literacy, so we have our team will be presenting in early years and later years, and there's also a new English language art curriculum coming out for September, so they're going to start working with that. And Juniper School will be working on first aid PD for the grades 5 and 8. Just some training that's coming up in the community that would be of interest for everybody. There's the mental health first aid that's happening December 13th and 14th. I believe the cost is $150. But that cost also goes back to the CMHA, and that's part of their fundraising. It goes back to programming within the Mental Health Association. The Applied Suicide Intervention Skills Training, that's January 23rd and 24th. There's a few letters that I received. One was from Helen Robinson Settee, who's the director of the Aboriginal Education Directorate, thanking the district for their contribution for the BSAP gathering, which is Building Student Success with Aboriginal Parents. And they just wanted to highlight that the contributions made by the school district were very generous, and Manitoba Education and Training would not have been able to provide such a rich and valuable experience without your assistance and support. And that's the conference at Buffy St. Marie was the keynote, so that was truly very exciting. I was very lucky to be able to MC I was lucky, I received a kiss from Buffy St. Marie on one cheek and a kiss from Elder Stella Neff on the other, so that was amazing for me. Ron Cook was an elder for the conference, and he provided opening on the 2 days, and Shelley Cook provided a session working with parents and the importance of using numeracy language with your students, and she did some packages with the parents. I received another email or a letter from the Artie Parker class of 1976, 40th reunion, and they held their reunion in Winnipeg. It was a 3-day event. They had attendees from all over Canada and people from New Zealand, Florida, and New York. And they had a fundraiser. They raised $1,500, and they wanted to donate that $1,500 for SafeGrad 2017. So we've now sent a check to Danny Morris, who is in charge of that. But I just want to read this, and Mayor Fensky is also a grad of 1976. So just so you know, they mentioned that in here.
They're very proud of that, that graduate.
So
him about that.
So the piece I really appreciated was the organizing committee wrote that Thompson was and is truly a unique community, and the friendship we made were special and long-lasting. Many of us attended kindergarten through grade 12 in Thompson and remain close friends to this day. The success of the reunion and attendance of so many alumni says a lot about how important Artie Parker was and is to us, and about the lifelong friendships that we have made while there. So I would like to thank them, and the letter was written by Candy Plashewski, maiden name Henderson, no relation, Linda Boltu, maiden name Buckles, and Sue Demare, she was a heel. So I just want to acknowledge that. And the last thing is I'm looking for a recommendation, and I don't see it on the agenda, but I received an invitation to attend the WIPSI. You guys know what WIPSI is?
No.
The World Indigenous Peoples Conference on Education in Toronto in July. And the Aboriginal Education Directorate has asked that I participate with them. They would like me to be a co-presenter talking about some of the initiatives that we've done in the district. So with that, they will pay my registration, which is $1,300. Yeah, they will take care of me from Winnipeg to Toronto. They will pay my hotel, my per diem. So I just need to get myself to Winnipeg. So I think it's a really good opportunity to be able to go down and present as the school district in Mystery Lake. So I'm looking for a recommendation to attend that.
Okay, does somebody want to make a motion to that effect? Erica? Motion being that
I recommend that the board, superintendent be authorized to go to
WIPSI.
And I seconded it.
Okay, all in favor of that motion? Motion Fanny, the motion is carried. Okay, just the Winnipeg portion is what you're talking about, eh?
And being able to attend. Because
Yeah.
other province, I have to seek permission.
Okay,
And it
yes,
is
okay.
July 23rd that I will be traveling.
Very good. Okay. Okay, moving right along to Secretary Treasurer's report.
I have the first reading of debenture bylaw 0816. A first reading is required for debenture bylaw 0816 for the purpose of borrowing the sum of $676,100 by the issue and sale of debentures for the roof replacement at Juniper and Burtwood Schools and Deerwood School exterior wall upgrade at Deerwood and Riverside School. Well, that's worded kind of poorly. At this time, I'm looking for a recommendation that debenture bylaw 0816 in the amount of $676,100 be read for the first time.
So, do we need another motion now?
Yeah.
Yeah, mover. Okay, mover for that, please. Trustee Land, seconder, trustee Lychuk, okay? And we need to do a motion and vote, right? Okay, all in
Yeah, but I have a
favor?
question.
Any questions about it? Leslie, question?
Is this for what? Sorry, I can't find it. Is this for the envelope?
We have, pardon me?
The envelope development?
It's a portion, we have 4 projects, 4 capital projects that are debentured this year. This particular bylaw of 676,000. Of that, the roof replacement for Juniper School is 129,900. Burntwood School is 22,400. The Deerwood School envelope is 251,400. And the Riverside School exterior wall upgrade is 272,000 of this bylaw.
And that's what comprises the total amount?
The total amount of
Okay.
676,000.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? All in favor of the motion? Okay, opposed if any, the motion is carried. Okay, anything else that you're feeling? Oh, new business? I don't have any correspondence. Does anybody have any correspondence? Okay, moving on to committee reports, policy committee.
We have a lot to do at our next meeting.
Yes, you do.
Rewrite Public Schools Act.
Give permission on that one if I were you.
We haven't even started on pronouns.
And our meeting is actually scheduled for December 8th at 5:00 PM.
December 8th.
Okay,
What's going on December 8th?
there's lots of, well, there's stuff at
Something
where we
else.
work, but that's not,
Is that through the day?
well, there's lots of stuff on December 8th. Okay, anything from the last meeting that you'd like to report on? No?
Pretty much we brought it forward.
Okay, education and programming, Ryan?
Ahead of this meeting, we had a number of things that we looked at. We really have decided on an agenda format. We will bring forward to the next meeting, we just tidied up the terms of reference a tiny bit, and we'll bring it back to this committee, also to reflect, at our last meeting, we had some wording around admin support, supporting the process, so we'll reflect that language in the terms of reference that we bring. And just heard, I mean, a lot of good things. Lori presented really what we called our data build, but it became a pretty comprehensive and many tentacled monster in terms of our data story. So we're going to come back to the next meeting and focus specifically on a grade 8 data set, so it's sort of at a level and a manageable size. And, you know, sort of appreciating the importance of grade 8. So great work putting together what was put together. It was remarkably comprehensive. And then we heard a little bit about some of what we heard in the report around new curriculum in a couple of different areas, and some ideas about how we might tackle that going forward. Lori shared also a draft or the submitted version. I think it's actually the submitted version of the district plan for continuous improvement, right, as requested by the province. And heard about some programming. I mean, we've all been, I think it would be probably not a person in the community that hasn't been affected by mental health issues and suicide and a variety of things going on in our community. And not surprisingly, our district has a plan to really work on that going forward and reduce risk for families and children. And heard about training that has happened around ASSIST, Safe Talk, mental health first aid, and we're doing a broader version of that December 9th as part of our district PD, so that more people will have the training that can help us keep our kids safe and alive. And I think that's about it. Our next meeting, I'll forget the date offhand, but it's January, around about 31st or thereabouts, yes.
Okay, good. Lots of stuff going on there. Okay, Public Relations Committee?
Scheduled for December 5th at 12 o'clock.
Okay, thank you. Finance, Property, Personnel,
Next meeting is scheduled for December 14th.
Okay, that's true. Okay, trustee comments? We'll start with trustee Fitzpatrick.
I have no comments to make.
Okay, trustee Land.
I don't think I have any comments.
Okay, trustee Lychuk.
I don't have any comments to
Okay, trustee McDonald.
I don't have anything to do.
Okay, I laid a wreath on behalf of the school district of Mystery Lake at the Remembrance Day service on November 11th at the TRCC. It was lots of wreaths, my goodness, it was probably over 25 that were laid on behalf of all kinds of different organizations in town. So, Trustee Tucker,
No comment.
okay. All right.
How rare is that?
Questions from the public regarding items pertaining on the agenda? Okay,
Anything on the PSA?
Yeah, or when a trustee can attend electronically, and they have to show up physically.
ouch, honest to goodness. Okay, very good. Okay, a motion to go in camera, please?
Right
Trustee
away?
Well, in 10 minutes, yeah.
I will.
Okay, seconder, trustee Fitzpatrick, all in favor? Okay, opposed, if any, the motion is carried. 10 more minutes in camera. All right, thank you.